Good Thursday morning, everybody. I'm Jared Klein coming to you live from the NBC29 Digital Desk with the Morning Rush. Let's start things off this morning in Madison County. That's where the Quaker Run fire is now more than 60% contained. The Department of Forestry says crews have seen success keeping the flames inside of those containment lines that they've drawn. Some of these containment lines have been difficult to carve out due to the terrain. Firefighters have started the process of repairing trails in Shenandoah National Park. Plans to renovate Albemarle Charlottesville Regional Jail are moving forward. The County Board of Supervisors has approved an interim financing director. The jail superintendent says the work will improve conditions for inmates, but the $45 million project does have its critics. A local civil rights and racial justice organizer would rather the money be used in the community. Delegates from Guatemala said their goodbyes to some new friends made in Charlottesville last night. The event was part of Charlottesville Sister Cities Commission. Delegates were able to share cultural practices and experiences with elected officials and the public. Last night's event concluded with a formal signing of a friendship, and after the trip, the cities will discuss Huehuetenango's upcoming process of becoming a permanent sister city. And many of us are planning our Thanksgiving feast with all the trimmings, but higher food prices continue to put a strain on some families. The Blue Ridge Area Food Bank says at last estimate it had more than 140,000 visits per month. The organization says it's got plenty to go around, so don't be shy about reaching out. Donations are also always welcome.
Okay, yeah, doing great work there. All right, so this story is probably a really good reminder to get your flu shot. This Ohio woman, Kristen Fox, when she was 39, she got sick with the flu in March of 2020, right around when the pandemic was hitting and shutting everything down. Well, she went to the urgent care. They said she had the flu, and then she went home, and 24 hours later, she was back in the emergency room, and she after that, she doesn't really remember anything else, but she woke up and all of her limbs had to be amputated because she went into septic shock. And so they had to cut off her arms and legs. Yeah, and so just a reminder about, getting your flu shots and whatnot. But
yeah, and now is the time to get it.
Absolutely, it's going around, so get your flu shots for sure. Okay, next thing. So with pedestrian deaths on the rise, a lot of cities are now rethinking the debate, right turn on red when you're at a traffic light. And this is a graph of within the 10 largest cities, pedestrian deaths increased 60% between 2010 and 2021. So, and here's another graph of kind of where we are as far as fatalities, pedestrian fatalities, kind of in Virginia, so we're kind of on the low end. But it's a lot of cities. I mean, I always, think turn right on red, but in Washington, D.C., it's banned. They've banned it. It doesn't go into effect until 2025, but it's starting to happen. So
I mean, especially if you're in an area you're not familiar with, you might be looking at your directions, you might have your head somewhere else, and not even be paying attention to the fact that somebody might be walking across the crosswalk and just turn right on red. So it might be a good idea in cities at least.
Sure, absolutely. Because they have if you're at a red stoplight, and you're turning right, the pedestrians have the right of way. I mean, that's usually their time to walk. So
I mean, I know, especially if I'm driving around a place I'm not familiar. My focus is not on like every single detail.
Right. So something to think about. Okay, and then take a look at this. This is an interactive dress. Can you imagine being able to just change the style of your clothing with a click of a button?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so these are all the different designs. So it would be, I was thinking, for a woman it would be great because you could buy one dress and then it could be like 10 different dresses in one.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's just a little bit of ingenuity and maybe things to come down the road. You never know.
Maybe they'll invent a tie for men.
That
changes colors.
Yes. You could use different patterns based on what you're wearing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's the future of fashion.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. You won't need the heavy jacket today, whether it's Color shifting or not, we've got a high of 71, and then things are cooling back down by the time we reach the weekend with a high of 61 in Charlottesville for the UVA game. And then we've also got College Game Day in Harrisonburg for our Saturday. A lot of people will be outside for that. And it looks like for the week of Thanksgiving, we're starting out in the 50s, around where we should be this time of year. I hope you guys have a great Thursday out there. We'll see you again on NBC 29 News at noon. And of course, we're always live on the NBC 29 News app.